Hi. Oh, well, we have some sunshine, we have a dry moment, and I am here talking to you. I'm not going to take you around the garden because still lots to do. I do want to catch up with you though on a few things, but they might be boring stuff. If you're stuck with me to the end of the video, I'll blow you a kiss because you're amazing. Most people check out after 2 minutes and think, oh, not finished, bored, moving on. So very few people watch past 2 minutes of my videos, and I'm going to go on for at least 10, 13 minutes. Hello and welcome. It's lovely to have you with us again. Oh, listen, the birds are agreeing. The birds are agreeing. You're not supposed to agree. Yes, it's not boring. It's interesting. Tweet isn't around as much anymore because the nesting is done. Still pops in every now and again to chat and say hi, and his companion. But yep, so wildlife wise, it's gone a bit quiet this time of year. The weather is a boob, and not a nice one, because it just cannot make up its mind. But then we're in the UK. This is British weather. It is unpredictable. It's autumn one day, summer one day, a bit wintry at night, boiling hot during the afternoon. You just never know. So you just wing it. You do what you can. You plant what you can. You put out what you can. You grow what you can. And if it survives, brilliant. If not, well, try again next time. Because you can't say, well, that didn't work, I just won't bother next year, because next year might be totally different. So you just keep growing. You sow, you grow, you plant out, you hold thumbs, say your prayers, and hope all's well. Biting fly, no, you are not welcome. See, easily distracted. Anyway, I'm sitting on this bench in front of the vertical strawberry tower because that bench is completely covered in plants. We have very lovely neighbours who donated some beautiful lettuces. I'm so jealous. They don't grow like that in my garden. Let's hope they survive. I'm too scared to put them out. I might have to put them in a hanging basket under cover where it's not going to be scorched when we do get sunshine. Yes, we have some cut and come again lettuces, which is one thing I've learned in my garden, that I do not need to grow a whole row full of chard or a whole row full of spinach or stuff like that, because they're cut and come again. You only need 2 plants, maybe 3 at the most, to harvest from, because we don't eat it all the time. It's something we eat little bits of every now and again. So I only need 2 plants really. And if both plants go to seed, at least I'll have sown more plants to replace them by the autumn, so that at least through the winter we can still get some chard. So we only need 2 plants. The plants like that, which are quite a long season thing, that are cut and come again, or you just pick as you go, those things I can plant like 2 in a bed in the middle along the length, and plant other stuff in between that are shorter growing seasons, and you just harvest the whole lot all in one go. So yes, I've learned that I only need a couple of plants. I don't need to sow 20 seeds. I can sow 6 to 9 seeds and keep the best 2 to 3. And then within a couple of months, sow some more ready to replace them come the end of the season, or even though they stay, one plant stays in for seed for the following year, and the other one I can get rid of while the others are starting off and getting established, so that we've got something to see us through the winter on that plant. Yeah, I have had to buy in tomatoes because the tomatoes we sowed earlier in the year just didn't work very well. They just did not take off. So I've bought some to hopefully that, I mean, I have made sure that they weren't F1s, but it doesn't always say on the label when you buy plants that are growing. So I'm hoping I can get seed. Well, I will get seed from them, but whatever we get from those seed, who knows? Might be a surprise. So we'll still save seed from them for next year. What else was there? Cabbages. I bought some red cabbages because my cabbages, the seed obviously was not viable, didn't grow. And the few that I did, they tend to bolt. And that could be a care thing where I'm not looking after them properly, could be a soil thing, could be just the unpredictable weather. And other things the slugs have demolished. So I'm winging it. I'm growing what I can, and when I have to, I'll buy a couple of things in. I don't like buying things in because I like to sow them in soil from home. Bringing bought-in plants, you're always risking bringing in something in the soil that they plant in. You just never know what you're bringing into your garden. Yeah, they're not supposed to be bringing anything in. They're supposed to be grown under such strict conditions. But I have it a couple of times, pardon me, when things have happened from bought-in plants. So I like to sow my own, and where I can, I will. That is always my first go-to. There are things harvesting. I've already harvested 1.2 kilos of strawberries. I've harvested almost all of the black currants because they're ready. My red currant bush is brand new, so it's not going to be giving me fruit much until next year. Hopefully we will. But I only have 2 blackcurrant bushes, so I'm keeping the fruit because I want to save them for making some syrups for the winter, some tonic syrups for the winter. What else is there? There's a lot going on. It's so busy. Mostly, I've been doing what I can when I can, grabbing the chance, and that's practically what I want you to get out of this video. Do what you can, when you can, with what you've got, and make the most of it, and just be grateful for what you get and do. It's very difficult to be specific in my garden as far as being completely self-sufficient. I don't go for complete self-sufficiency. I go for self-sufficiency as in enough for our needs of what I can do. And I think that's what we need to change most people's idea about self-sufficiency with, that it's not self-sufficiency, growing everything yourself for yourself, what you can, and being selfish about it. The self bit is what people focus on. It is sufficient for your needs as far as you can. So that is what I am focusing on. And so far we're doing not too badly. Staples, we have a long way to go before we can grow bulk staples that'll last us from one season to the other. And that's another thing I'd like you to take from this video is you, instead of thinking about your staples like your potatoes, your carrots, your peas, and growing a bulk amount and storing it for the winter, think about varying your diet, getting a lot of variety in, so that your starches are not just potatoes, but you also have Jerusalem artichokes, you have pumpkins and squashes for your carbohydrates as well. Think about other things you could have, mashua, ochre. Think about growing amaranth and quinoa, because you can grow those here in the UK in most gardens where you've got a good sunny spot. You can grow those, and I do keep trying. It takes a little bit of work to harvest, but think of diversifying your starches. Think about your food storage, your long-term store cupboard with your rices and your oats and things like that to bulk up your storage for the winter and keep your fresh veg, what you grow, because you won't be able to grow a whole year supply in your small average suburban garden. You would need an allotment for that. If you want to grow your bulk staples, you need an allotment for that, where you grow in bulk amounts of stuff. In a small suburban garden, you're not going to be able to grow an entire year's worth of potatoes and have much else. You could grow your whole year's potatoes in all the beds, but you won't have very much else. So change your idea of what your staples are. Vary your diet so that you are more resilient, and grow your food storage cupboard just in case. Yeah. Think about things you get multiple harvests from, like the purple sprouting broccoli. Yes, you're harvesting the broccoli, the broccoli sprouts, but you could also use the leaves as you normally would a cabbage, a dark cabbage. So that your dark green leafy veg. You can get multiple. You can eat the flowers. You can eat the seed pods, the very young seed pods. They're very fibrous if you leave them to go over. But then save the seeds. When you save the seeds from your broccolis, your swede, your kales, those seeds are a good source of microgreens through the winter. Through the autumn, winter, and early spring, you've got your green leafy veg as in microgreens. So you're growing your own seeds. You know what's in them. They're organic. They're not treated. So you can use them for sprouting seeds as well. So think about multiple harvests of plants in a smaller space. That is the best. And your perennial vegetables, like your rhubarb, which is perennial, keeps coming back every year, like your Jerusalem artichokes or your yacon. Oh, I love yacon. Oh, so delicious. Those are replant annuals, so you keep the bulbs to plant for the next year. I mean, yacon you don't, the bulbs you eat. It's the little plantlets that grow at the base of the plant that you keep and store for the following year. Jerusalem artichoke, once you have them, you'll never get rid of them, but that's a good thing because they're a no-care plant. You put them in the ground, you leave them, as long as they have a good soil, or they'll grow in almost any soil. As long as if it's a weak soil, you feed them occasionally, but make sure that they never dry out or they're never sopping wet all the time. So think about crops that will be less work, that will have multiple functions. And what else is there? I mean, beetroot. Once beetroot goes over, if it bolts, just cut off the flower stalks and keep it going for leaves. You can harvest the leaves for salad. Yes, people say about the oxalates. Stick in your vinegar and lemon juice, which helps to counteract. If you're cooking leaves, it counteracts that. So you're fine. You're not going to eat that amount. You need to eat a humongous bowl for it to be toxic to you. Unless, of course, you get kidney stones, then you might want to be careful of eating raw green leafy veg. But disclaimer, I am not a new qualified nutritionist. I am not a doctor. I am not a dietitian. So do your own research. Right. I need to go. I've got a whole bunch to do. Did I tell you about the courses I'm doing? Yes, I think so. The online courses. I don't remember if I've said it earlier in this video, but just to wrap up, I am busy working on module 1. I have the workbook, I have the guidebook, and I'm working on the videos. That will be module 1. That hopefully by the end of next week, I will put that all into the file that I've made the listings as drafts on my Shopify store, because yes, you can use Shopify to sell online courses and other digital products. I'll tell you more about that in the other channel, which deals with other self-reliance topics than gardening and using what you grow. So yeah, I'm working on that. That's why I'm being a bit scarce with it. I haven't done podcasts, I haven't done blogs, and there's a few other things. I've neglected the other channel as well because I've had to be totally focused on what I'm doing with the garden and the workshops, and the workshops as well on our days. The workshops, yes, another one for the end of June. So if you're interested in that, do check out the listings on my Facebook and Instagram, and I will put if you'll contact me via email or either Instagram or Facebook, yeah, send me an email if you want to join in with those. That will be I'll check the date and I'll put that in the description box as well. So do check the description box because I put stuff in there that I don't always see. I would love to thank you all for your continued support, for sticking out with me. Most people, by 2 minutes into the video, have switched off. They don't watch past about 2.5 minutes of the video. So if you've made it this far, I love you. You're a star. Brilliant. Love to share these things with you. It might not be that interesting, but I hope to be more value to you soon. I am truly grateful for the subscribers, but I also appreciate your feedback. I love to hear from you. If you like, so that the algorithms can see that there's some value in the videos I do. I love to hear from you because it helps to know what it is you want to see. And some people give really helpful insights and advice that are valuable, not just to other viewers. Oh, Tweet is here. Hi, Tweet. Yeah, I know. You want some worries? Okay, I'll get you some in a mo. Okay, just saying goodbye to folks. Yeah, okay. You can hear him. You can't see him, but you can hear. Oh, yeah. I'll be there now. I'll get you some worms now. Right, he's objecting to making him wait. Wildlife's telling me what to do. All right, folks. Take care. Have a good week. Keep gardening, whatever the weather. And I'll speak to you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.